What's up, everybody, and welcome to All Elite Nation, your number one source for AEW fan coverage. My name is Phil Ortiz, but you can call me Philliam, alongside the Canadian that might become an American, Mr. Kyle Masters. What is up?
Hell no. No.
Listen, do you guys want to make New York a province? We'll come.
I mean, we'll accept, like you guys, California. Well, maybe. Well, no, I can't. California is in trouble right now, and thoughts of birds actually go out to them.
Yeah,
for one.
Thoughts with everybody in California.
That's
craziness.
Rough. Yeah,
absolute craziness.
As for the other stuff, no, I think we're good being Canada. To be honest, you guys can go take Greenland if you want. I don't know what's the deal with that over there, but.
I hate being here.
I don't know what's in Greenland that he wants so bad.
Dude, I don't know what is happening anymore. He's not even in office yet. We're fucking already going.
It feels like a freaking TV show. Like we're living in a TV show. It's
Dude, we're living in a wrestling event.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
You know, when you said the intro, I almost was like, you said All Elite Nation. I'm like, no, we're Elite POV. Oh, wait, yeah, we changed.
It's going to be so hard for us to still get used to that.
There's going to be a time where we say Elite POV and we're going to have to redo the intro. Or when we do our first live show. Guarantee our first live show, we're going to say.
Well, I'm reading it. I have like a thing. Like I would say Elite POV if I wasn't reading what I just.
You're not going to go off the script? Nah.
Eventually I will. Not yet, you know. I'm not in Kenny Omega shape yet.
No, okay. You're
saying it. Oh boy, do we got a lot to talk about on this episode? Our God, has returned to professional wrestling.
So much has happened since think about so much has happened. Not even just in AEW world, but like the world of pro wrestling since our last show. Absolutely wild.
Yep. Shout out to everybody who booed Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
At fucking Monday Night Raw.
You did your job.
But also remember, WWE put him out there. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
They thought it was a good idea. Shout out to you guys for booing. And shout out to Vanessa Hudgens for being the hottest wrestling fan to ever live.
Oh, my God.
Let's talk about that.
I could talk about it for hours, but yeah.
So much
you guys did an amazing job with that. Thank you so much. I was going to be pissed if we were going to get. I mean, there's still people cheering, and that is what it is. But he deserves all the booze in the world. But yeah, so much has happened, even elsewhere. Like from the Wrestle Kingdom weekend last weekend was nuts. Mm-hmm. The first the second Dynamite episode this past week, we get the return of Omega, which you guys see the title episode. Omega returns. So much has happened, and now we're going into fucking maximum carnage, which is like, I really, really did think it had to do with the comics, but it's just wildly coincidental that I really want to know why they came up with Maximum Carnage. Was it just like someone had the comic and like Tony Khan's like, yeah, we need to trademark that like for a show? Like, I don't get where the name came from for next week.
Understand.
Or they go to Mox and be like, yo, it's your hometown. What do you want to call the episode? And he's like, I don't know. Maybe he was reading Maximum Carnage, the comic.
I just hope that if Mox said it to Tony Khan, he said it like John Cena said ruthless aggression. Yeah. He was like, maximum carnage.
I need them to open the show next week with a Death Riders promo and him. That's how the promo ends, and then it goes into the intro. Except maybe change the intro song, because if that's the intro song, if it's I'm so excited. After that would be like such a weird transition.
Yeah, it's such a weird transition. Just absolutely hilarious. And also shout out to RJ City, who is reportedly the one who's behind the storyline for the Death Riders. I know a lot of people online think they're tired of it or over it or whatever because they don't truly understand what's happening. But remember, RJ City is the person who did the Tony Storm and Mariah May storyline. So let this man cook, all right? Let this man cook.
People are not patient anymore, man. People want like instant resolution to stories like within like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm like, no, that's a model for other promotions out there.
Yes.
But here, AEW, again, it goes back to something like it's for the sickos, not just like in terms of match quality, but in terms of the sickos that want every story to be almost a long-term story and goes deep into lore. Mm-hmm. That's what this company is, because that's what it is, as the alternative that does this as opposed to what you're used to in other brands and other companies out there. This is what you have to get used to. If you're a new fan, or if you're a fan, you've been watching maybe less than we have, or even like maybe you're watching as long as we have, just have patience. You know that ultimately the payoffs always tend to be really good in this company. Just, like you said, let them cook. Let's see what happens coming up here. But no, I'm glad to hear that he's behind that. I thought you were about to tell me that he was behind choosing I'm So Excited, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to tweet him.
Oh my god,
I'm gonna have to tweet
him.
RJ.
No.
But at least on my side, because I don't get to watch on Max, I didn't see no intro this week. It went. So they didn't do. I wonder if that was. I don't know what the reasoning is for when a show doesn't have an intro. Is it just because they were short for time?
Time restraints, maybe.
Something like that. Like they knew they maybe be going over, and they just wanted to start the show right on time. I don't know. But then, like, if you go back and watch this week and listen, it's the old Dynamite theme that's playing as it's like circling the arena, showing the crowd. So
maybe Tony was like, oof, maybe people don't like it. But see, that's also the cool thing about AEW is they address stuff immediately.
Yeah.
So a lot of people did not like that song. I know that I've seen more of a discourse online praising it, saying that it was like a throwback to old 80s wrestling shows. But like, I mean, me and Kyle talked last week about we didn't think it fits the vibe of what AEW is. So maybe Tony changed it.
I hope so.
But hey, we'll see. There was no intro this week. It went right into the match. I also think I think the time was like 45 minutes before Monday Night Raw got into a wrestling segment. So maybe Tony was like, nah, we're just going to get right into it to show
Osprey,
like how we stand out.
You started, buddy.
Yeah. Oh my God. And we'll get into the match. But before we get into that, just one quick thing. Shout out to Ty Mello making her return to the ring after 2 years in an awesome tag match. It was her, Mina versus Athena, and Tekla. Is that the girl's name?
Oh, I can't pronounce her name. Don't even ask me to pronounce her name.
Yeah, I think it was Tekla. But yeah, dude, awesome match.
Ty looks good.
Athena gets the win. Ty looks great. She had the awesome gear that was a nod to Anitta, which is a Brazilian singer. So that's awesome.
I love the dreads. The dreads were
cool.
Yeah.
Yep. If you guys want behind the scenes for that, you can go to Sammy Guevara's YouTube channel. He does his vlog it's not every week anymore, but every so often he does it now, and they document everything. There's this very sweet and emotional part where they go to like one of the first, if not the first, judo like temples or areas or training facilities, and she breaks down crying. It's awesome. It's great. Make sure you watch it. And shout out to Sammy for getting to perform on Wrestle Kingdom. I know he said in that vlog that it was a dream of his, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, we get Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty. Now, Wrestle Dynasty is what AEW was involved with, and overall, I thought it was a great show. I want to shout out Jackie for staying up with me, and Kyle, like, you weren't there, and like you made the right decision because let me tell you something. That event started at 11, right? At 12 o'clock, me and Jackie were like, this was a mistake, but we're committed. We're not going anywhere. I was so tired. I was like, at one point I fell asleep for maybe 20 minutes. Jackie was like yelling to get me to wake up on the Discord. And then we make it to the Kenny match. I fought my way through the Kenny match. And then after it, I'm like, I'm going to bed. But like the show was great. I've rewatched that Kenny Gabe Kidd match like
so
3-4 times. Oh my God. It is just exceptional, right? Kenny Omega's new music, made by the people who do the music for Final Fantasy, is like, it's so perfect. And it switches the whole vibe up from, and I love that he's using it in AEW now, but man, what an absolute banger of the show. Mercedes becomes 4 belts Monet, which is awesome.
It wasn't even supposed
Willow,
to be 4.
Yeah, exactly. Willow and Athena and Mercedes make history of the first time New Japan had 3 black women get to compete on their show. I do wish the women's match was on the main card, but hey, even though it's on the pre-show, we still got to see it, which was cool. But yeah, overall a great show. Kyle, what'd you think of Wrestle Dynasty?
Dynasty
and the weekend, really.
I mean, the Kingdom was awesome too, and I did my due diligence to. When I woke up in the morning, I'm like, no, I cannot go on social media. I don't want to be spoiled. I went and started watching it right away, and Wrestle Kingdom was fun to watch. Although, like, the main event of Wrestle Kingdom was so weird. It was the only one that threw me right off was the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. It didn't. I don't know. It was good to see Shota and Zack Sabre Jr. go at it. I don't know. To me, it was like Sorry.
Well, New Japan is in like a transition stage,
Yeah,
and they're building new stars, so it's like
it was the match before. Why am I fucking shooting a blank
I don't know, I
here?
didn't watch Wrestle Kingdom.
It was
I
Yeah,
forgot.
Naito and Takahashi was great. Even the one before that with David Finlay and Yoda. I don't know. Even Takeshita versus Shingo Takagi was probably my favorite match. It was really, really well done. But yeah, no, Dynasty was good because this is technically the first Forbidden Door style show done
Yep.
on Japan soil. So then this was
Hmm.
obviously done in the Tokyo Dome, which is really cool as well. Yeah, I thought it was really for the first time that Wrestle Dynasty is happening. I thought it was really, really well done. Yoda even faced Jack Perry. Jack Perry got to do his whole shtick in Tokyo Dome, which is cool. It was cool to see a lot of the stars have their time in the Tokyo Dome. Like even like Finley and Brody King was really good.
Oh, yeah, great match. Takesho and why am I blanking on his name?
Oh, and
Mr.
Tomohiro
No Neck.
Ishii.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ishii.
Yeah. So that
Dude,
match
awesome
was the
match.
best match of the night, except for the Gabe Kidd and Omega
Yeah.
match.
Hmm.
It was longer than I thought it was going to be. It ended up being a banger. I was like, holy shit. Why is it only in Japan do we see Ishii like this? What the hell? But no, it was it was a fun event to watch. I enjoyed it. And like you said before too, like going back to the Ty and Sammy stuff, it was also cool to see that Sammy lived his dream to wrestle in the Tokyo Dome. Dustin hadn't been there in like years. He was there like years and years ago, something like 15, 20 plus years ago. And that was like his first time back, which is cool.
No, it was like 30 years ago.
30 is, it's longer than that. Damn.
Yeah, I think in the vlog, him and Sammy talk about it, and Sammy was like, the last time you were here, like I wasn't even born, or I was just born, or something.
Jesus.
So it was like almost 30 or around 30 years.
That's wild. But yeah, no, even it's cool too. I mean, the Tokyo Dome, it is what it is. I mean, it's not a sellout for the Tokyo Dome. Neither was Wrestle Kingdom. I believe it was 16,000 for Wrestle Dynasty, and it was like 24 or 25,000 for Wrestle Kingdom. So pretty good numbers still. But for the first
But the
event,
crowd still got up when they needed to. You know what I mean?
oh
Like
yeah,
that, I think, is what's to remember from it.
it was really cool to see it done in the New Japan way. Like when I say that, like in between matches, there's barely any. If there is video, they'll show, but there's no like video packaging. They have like a zoomed out picture, and then they put the match up on the screen, and it goes right into the next entrance, which is really cool and really well done. I like that New Japan style. But no, event in a nutshell, really well done. Kenny's back. Kenny is back, like back. Like I was so worried, and I hate pro wrestlers, man, for one single reason. Whenever they come back from like a serious injury, it's like the first thing they sell in their first match back. And I hate that. It drives me up the fucking wall.
It's Bryan Danielson with his neck. Like, all right. Or with the concussions. You're like, all right.
This is why I hate professional wrestlers.
They
do shit like this. He was grabbing his stomach a lot of times. I'm like, oh my God, please don't joke about this.
Yeah.
But it's guy.
But no, so I do want to get your thoughts on the commentator from New Japan that got suspended, of course.
What an idiot.
For his comments. Now, some people are saying it's a work. Some people are saying it's real. My thoughts in the whole situation is it's stupid. I get the whole, like, it was supposed to be like New Japan versus AEW, and he's playing like a heel commentator that's like pro New Japan. I get it, but, you don't call Tony Khan a money mark on a broadcast and think there's not going to be repercussions. Like that's like one of the worst things that people call Tony Khan, to kind of discredit everything that he has built and all the good stuff that he's done with AEW. It would be like, I don't know, if you were doing a joint show with WWE and instead of talking about like Triple H, the wrestler, you're talking about like Paul Levesque as like a person and being like, oh, your father-in-law is in a fucking rape lawsuit. Like it's like, I get you're trying to play heel, but it kind of crosses the line.
Yeah, I think you should have known better. If it was a mistake, sure, but at the same time, like, come on, man. Like it's something you should know. It's like instinct. You shouldn't do, right? And if it's not part, I don't think it's a work. It's a commentator. I literally think he I don't want to say went to
made a choice
himself.
and then
he made a choice and he screwed up.
He fucked it up. Yep.
And he's getting in trouble for it. Was he suspended like a couple of months? Like
I think it's 2 weeks. No, was it 2 months?
I think it was 2 months. I think it's a couple of months.
Oh yeah, because New Japan doesn't run weekly, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. That's what bro. You just gotta make smarter decisions. Like it's just so fucking stupid. And the wrestling community is so on fire at all times.
Yeah.
Like it's just hating each other. So it's like, you know, don't add to it, which is ridiculous. But another bit of news that we wanted to talk about before we get into Dynamite is it's being reported yet again that Malakai Black might be ending his time
God.
with AEW. If you remember, I think every year since he's been with the company, there's been some type of reports of him going back. Um, we all assume that he probably wants to be with his wife, giving the different travel schedules and whatever. I mean, I did read somewhere that WWE isn't doing a house show until March, like
Wow.
from December to March, which is really cool. Like I think that's a great thing. Like let these people go home and rest and recover,
Exactly.
especially before Mania. And then, if people understand, like right after Mania, they usually do an international tour. So it's like brutal on their bodies. So, but if Malachi wants to be with his wife, I get it. I'm just tired of hearing it. And honestly, like there's something that's been going on because it doesn't make any sense that with Tony Khan being the type of booker that he is, that he's going to book talented people, that Malachi has just not been booked. I don't know if it was injuries, if it was personal stuff, if it was, is he hard to work with? Is Tony Khan like refusing to work with him? I don't know, but I'm just so tired of it. And like, let
Mm-hmm.
him be great in WWE and let the House of Black, the remaining members, be great in AEW. I think Brody King has a bright future. I think Julia Hart is a standout star, and I think Buddy Matthews, if he doesn't want to go back because he's married to Rhea, like hey, if he wants to stay here, we could use him here too and do some great things, especially with like Ring of Honor. Like Buddy Matthews would eat on Ring of Honor,
Oh
just be a
God.
huge star down there for them. So I don't know. I need this Malachi shit to be over with already.
Right? Like I'm sick and tired of this back and forth that we've done this already. Like
Yeah,
I'm tired. Just let him go at this point, right? Like if he doesn't want to be here, he doesn't want to be here. Like I hate having to like sit here and fret over one guy when the roster is full of talented people. Like I hate having to freaking put stuff in the back burner because one guy doesn't want to be here. It drives me absolutely up the wall. So if he doesn't want to be here, good. They can find other things. That's one of the reasons why you had even Osprey give his big endorsement to Buddy
Buddy.
Murphy, and even brought in Brody King. Like these two have telling him how much talent they have that he sees, world tag team gold, or if they both want to go off on their own singles, go in each of them. And he's right. What Osprey said is 100% true. Both these men have so much talent within them that they don't need Malakai Black. And even if they wanted to eventually like find another leader, right? You can do that. You can rework it, but if they don't want to do the House of Black stuff anymore, then that's fine. Or if you still represent the House of Black and they're all three of them off doing their single stuff, it'll be interesting to see what they do. But like, it's a shame because I really do love the House of Black, like actual.
Me too.
Like, but like, if Malachi is not here, like calling it the House of Black is also really weird.
Yeah,
Like, because
call it the House of Heart and let Julia run it.
House of Heart would be wild.
Because you could still be like the house always wins, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever, but
Yeah.
like let Julia be the leader. I would love to see a run where Brody King and Julia Hart are each other's managers and they're in each other's corners
That would be cool.
as singles wrestlers, and then Buddy Matthews gets to have a singles run as just like this incredible wrestler.
I like that. I like that a lot. And Julia Hart, we know that she can. We've seen that she can go on her own, right? So,
Yeah.
and she got the best theme song of all time. I freaking love that
Man,
theme
so
song.
good.
It's
So
so
good.
good. I'm glad she came back and she's still using it. So,
And
yeah,
they
it'll
could
be.
add new members. Like remember, Sky Blue was with Julia before Julia got
Yeah,
hurt, and then Sky Blue got hurt. So like they can still kind of do their own thing and keep this whole like, because remember the House of Black thing was like the devil is living through Malachi, so it's like that demon or whatever it could like now be living through Julia,
yeah.
and we see with her promos and stuff that she's done with Jamie Hayter that like that's what they could be doing. I hate that it wasn't referenced at all on Dynamite or Collision from this past weekend, but
Right.
hopefully going forward it will be.
And like you can find another leader. Like I said, you can be called something else. It doesn't need to be called the House of Black, and they can still do the same kind of gimmick work. But
I got it. Call it the House Syndicate.
yeah. In the end, though, it'll
We
be
miss people.
yeah.
We miss people.
It will be up to them. Like if they don't feel comfortable with running this gimmick without him, Malachi, then it is what it is at that point. Again, all three of them can survive on their own in their own way.
Exactly.
Even Julia Hart she can just keep a dark gimmick with her. Like, what if she kind of takes over the House of Black gimmick and then she creates a House of Black within the women's division?
True. That would be really cool.
So,
right, that'd be really, really cool. And I mean, there's a lot of women in AEW now, so
yep.
they could do some really cool stuff there. But, we could transition right into the start of Dynamite. As we said, no intro, which was weird, but when you're getting a match like this, you don't want to waste any time. We have Buddy Matthews versus Will Ospreay to open the show. A dream match. Honestly, I never even thought about until it happened, and until Tony put that graphic up, and I'm like, oh baby, we about to get a banger. And let me tell you something, it fucking delivered. You forget how good Buddy Matthews is. He still looks like the juggernaut. Like, it's crazy that we were supposed to believe this man was 205 because he is humongous, bro. His muscles have muscles have muscles. Like,
he looks like he'd be a great tag team partner with Pac.
Oh my god,
they're
dude.
like the same body built.
You know what they should do? Like, Pac should be in a tag team with somebody, and they should be called Full Gear because he's always in fucking gear. Yeah, he's always in gear. But damn, dude, that fucking opening match, just absolute bangers, and just like really getting the crowd on their feet. I know, the crowd this week was awful. They were terrible, but they were really good in this opening match. They really got this crowd going crazy, which was cool. But man,
but you see, they had to. It's a shame, but you're kind of right still. Like he had to. Like you saw, like Ospreay had to hype them up himself. Like when the bell rung, he had to like get them off their feet. Like at the same time, it's like, guys, come on! Like you're getting like a dream match or a match is gonna cook right in front of your eyes to open up the show. Like get loud! Like what are we sitting on our hands for? What are we doing?
Yeah, and for everybody who might say things like, this match, why are they fighting? There's no story, whatever. It's like, remember, in AEW, the stories start from the matches. So, like, even if you get something like this where you're like, this is random as hell. Why are these two fighting each other? Like we mentioned before, Kyle did, like, this could set up maybe Ospreay doing a United Empire type gimmick in AEW, or, Buddy Matthews and Brody and Julia going away from Malakai or whatever. Like, it could set up so many different things. Like, this will be the starting point of everything that's to come. And it's a great way to start it off.
Right. And we didn't know, right? I mean, if the rumors aren't true, let's just say for purposes here, if the rumors aren't true and Malakai's not leaving, what if that was the starting point for a future Ospreay and Malakai feud, right? Like he's trying to poach his boys, and eventually like they do it again down the line, and then like maybe Malakai interrupts and starts something with Ospreay. But if obviously if we're not going like this, and clearly with the rumors is that it's not the direction we're going in, it still creates something down the line. Like we don't know, maybe there is a seed that's like a seed planted for a United Empire within AEW, and it's going to include Brody and Malakai. Like that would be insane, and that would be can you imagine that's a United Empire within the company, that trio of Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Will Ospreay? Like Jesus
Christ, yeah. Going against the Don Callis family, like
yeah. Oh my God, man, sign me up.
Yeah, right, exactly. But it's just an incredible way to not only start the show, but like I said earlier, when you have WWE doing a big show this week where the first two people you see on the show are Triple H and The Rock, and it's like 45 minutes before you get to a match. It's great that this show does what I love about it the most, which is you start with the action. Like right out the gate, you can't be late to this show. You got to be on time. Boom, here we go. Let's have some fun. Let's kind of set the pace for the whole show. And then right after this segment, we get Private Party coming out. The Hurt Syndicate interrupts them. They're having their little party. Every time I see that security guard, I pop because Kyle's always like, "Oh, that's my boy." Blah blah blah. That shit makes you laugh every single time. But yeah, so they're teasing Private Party versus Hurt Syndicate. I don't know how I feel about this yet because I assumed that Lashley was gonna be going for like singles gold. And there's a ton of tag teams that are like on the rise but aren't there yet. So like the Outrunners and stuff, like I was hoping they'd get more shine. But maybe they're gonna be the ones to beat like Lashley and Benjamin, or maybe they turn Private Party heel. I don't know. But like I'm reserving my judgment for what's to come. I love the Hurt Syndicate. I love what they're doing. Um, and like this, of course, leads into the Lashley Briscoe match. So just talk about what you thought about these two segments, kind of airing back to back.
I love that transition that they did with the private party thing, and that was really, really cool and really well done. I'm hyped for that. I think that's a good selling match because you got to think of it. Like next week, we're officially like what, or was it this past Wednesday? We are like a month and a couple of days out of Grand Slam Australia, so they need to have some matches here. And then if they are struggling to sell more tickets, these are the 2 weeks where you start building matches and you would start announcing matches to sell more tickets. And again, we this is an AEW positive podcast, but I will critique where they needs to be critiqued. They need to do a better job with announcing matches ahead of time. No, they've started to do it this year. In the last month or two, they've done where they've announced like Maximum Carnage matches like 2 or 3 weeks out. I need to see like by next Wednesday at least 1 to 2 matches booked for
we'll
Grand
know
Slam Australia.
We will know
the women's match for sure.
The women's match, because that's what the Casino Gauntlet is next week.
Yeah. And
we could probably assume it's going to be Mox and Cope in Australia.
And
so
if Kenny's good to go, like have a Kenny match written for the show, like announced, right?
Do Kenny and Ospreay versus Takeshita and Fletcher.
Like announce that. Get like tickets moving. They need to, especially for big events like that, they need to, if they are struggling, that's where internally you have to sit down and be like, hey, well, we need to start then announcing some matches, whatever we have to do to sell some tickets, because that will ultimately sell tickets. If people see that like a big marquee match is announced ahead of time, they're like, shit, I was thinking of not going to the event, but they just announced this match. I'm buying a ticket. I'm going to the event. Funny enough,
you always see like the week of the pay-per-view, they always sell like a crazy amount of tickets.
Yeah, and then the walk-ins, right? People, I mean, nowadays, which in this economy, it is what it is, right? Walk-in ticket values are a lot smaller than when you're buying online, even if you're buying from like a third party. Like sometimes buying it right up when a walk-in, you're gonna get a cheaper price. So, yeah, I mean they will most likely sell during that week as well. But me personally, I would love to see them, announcing some matches to build for the shows a lot sooner.
Yeah, but just I think like Kyle was saying, Private Party versus Hurt Syndicate sells tickets. It'll be a great match, right? Shelton Benjamin doesn't have bad matches, so
no,
unless it was that one Ring of Honor show where I lied and told him he had a great match, but it wasn't great. That's a story for another day,
Man, if Hurt Syndicate wins the tag titles, that's I mean, that's a lot of star
cool
power with those tag belts, and that just
because
makes it
I
even
forget
bigger.
that Private Party's a tag champs. Like when they showed them, I'm like, oh yeah. Like I was watching Collision this week, and they fought Action Andretti and Leo Rush. But shout out to Jackie, she called them like amoebas, some germs. I was crying, bro. Their gear is awful. Fucking those entrance jackets. Getting Osmosis Jones out here. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
I have no idea what that's
awful.
I don't know what it is. Obviously, it's a fashion that I'm never gonna understand. But hey,
we're not fashionable enough, man.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know. To me, it's strange.
And then we go right from these two segments to the Casino Gauntlet. It's a newer match in AEW. It's kind of it's like the Royal Rumble, but it can end at any time, which I think is really cool. It's first pinfall, so. We saw it at All In, and we saw Christian Cage win it when we thought there were still probably more people to come, but that's what makes it so fun. The people that were in this match, and Kyle, correct me if I'm missing anybody, we had Jay White, Hangman Page, Wheeler Yuta, Adam Cole, Will Hobbs, Ricochet, Daniel Garcia, Roddy Strong, Lance Archer, shout out to the man who loses every big match, Kyle O'Reilly, Jeff Jarrett, who never made it to the match because Yuta took him out.
Do you say what's his face? Oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? Because there's O'Reilly, there was Cole, Roderick Strong. You said Roderick Strong, right?
Yeah, I said Roddy.
Okay,
Roddy
then,
Strong.
Yeah, you got everybody.
Yeah, and then of course Will Hobbs gets to win. Which, as I'm watching it, like I hate when I notice something and I don't say it out loud, because then afterwards when it happens and I tell people like that's what I thought in my head, they're probably like, you're a fucking liar. Like there's no way. Like, because as it was happening, I was like, oh yeah, Hobbs fought Moxley and got hurt, and that's when he was out. And like Tony
Yeah.
Khan is really good on giving people their moment back if they lost it. So, we're in Cincinnati. I don't remember if it was in Cincinnati where he got hurt when they had that match, but Hobbs gets to have his rematch against Moxley, and that's super cool. So like we kind of should have saw it coming. There's no way they were gonna. I know a lot of people wanted Jay White to win, but it's like if they're just gonna lose to Moxley, I don't want to see Jay White challenge for the
Yeah.
title again and just lose.
Yeah, a
Like
lot of
you
people
could
were
tell different
saying,
stories with him.
yeah, a lot of people were saying that there was a lot of star power that could have won. I'm like, yeah, but did you want him to lose the very next week right away? No, like it did a good job with having this gauntlet and telling stories within the gauntlet. Obviously, the stuff with Jay White and Hangman, the stuff with the Undisputed Kingdom, Ricochet trolling. Everybody thought that Swerve was going to be coming out. They're playing more into that story. Wheeler, I don't know, Wheeler Yulee being out there was a really shock to me, to be honest. I was like, damn, what the hell?
Yeah, what's going on?
But hilarious, even playing the Jeff Jarrett stuff, right? He didn't even get to be in the match.
Oh, great. So funny.
Um, and then, hey, we had MJF rip him apart later on anyways.
Yeah. But and that's the thing, too, is like, it was a great match. It was a lot of fun. There were some cool spots. Hangman continues to be the best storyteller in pro wrestling out of any company. I don't care what anybody says. Even, like Kyle brought up the Ricochet thing where he pretended to be Swerve. Like, they were zoomed in on Hangman's face when that music hit. And Hangman showed all the emotions because he's still working through all the Swerve stuff. So it's like, that was incredible from him. And then, like, I think it's cool to give somebody else a shot, right? You look at even the match, like, so Jay White, Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia, Roddy, and Kyle and I guess Jeff Jarrett technically are baby faces.
Yeah.
So like Jay White would be, because Hangman's a heel, he's not going to win. Cole, there's no shot they're going to give Cole a title shot if he's not going to win because they're still rebuilding him.
Yeah.
So it's like it kind of was between Jay White and Hobbs. So like it made sense that it was Hobbs. The one nitpick, did you notice that when Kyle O'Reilly came out, he came out to the conglomeration?
Yeah, I was so confused. I'm like, okay, can we just pick a team?
I thought he was with the Undisputed Kingdom.
That's what I thought.
When he did the promo last week, he was wearing the shirt.
Yeah, but okay, pick a team. Like, unless you're going to do this thing where you're going back and forth and you can't decide, then pick a damn side.
And that's like a story you're going to play into.
Yeah. Do you notice too? They did a lot of. I noticed it because I saw it live. They did a lot of stuff. They did a couple of spots from that North American title match in NXT at TakeOver New Orleans. They did a couple of spots with specifically even Adam Cole when he first got into the ring. They did a couple of spots there. Even the super kick to Ricochet, that was a play from the North American title match at TakeOver New Orleans, and I remember it to a T. They played a lot there. They did a lot of.
Remember when they fought in Brooklyn? I was there for that.
Yeah, that was sweet too. That was when he did the
North American
moonsault
title match.
Yeah, when he did the moonsault and super kicked him like mid moonsault.
Just the precision accuracy.
Yeah.
So much fun.
But Hobbs winning was cool, though. I mean, I'm glad he's getting an actual world title shot. I know he's not going to win, but that's still a big honor to get a world title shot. Like, not everybody gets a world title shot. Mm-hmm. You have to have like a specific reason for that. So I'm glad that they're, like you said, like they're even not only just giving Hobbs a good shot here to face Moxley, which is in like Moxley's home state, which is going to be wild to see what the crowd reaction is going to be like next week. But to go back and like you said, like, I'm going to say again, like you said, I'm having a brain fart. When you said that, yeah, before he was injured, like Tony Khan does a good job with re-giving the shot back after something like that and wanting to cross that off. So I'm glad that they're doing that.
But it's the gift and curse of Tony Khan's booking, right? Like it's almost like he writes something down in his notebook and that's the story. And if you get hurt, let's say it's between two people and one person gets hurt, the entire story is on pause and it messes up the other person, which is a bad thing about it. And the good thing is when everybody's back, like we saw when Statlander beat Jade, right? Like clearly Statlander was the one who was going to beat Jade the whole time, but she got hurt. It took almost a year later, and then they still went and did the story. Now it ruined Jade's entire year, but, Statlander still got that great moment. So I think it's cool that we're going to see Hobbs and Moxley. Of course, Moxley's going to win because Hobbs is not involved in whatever story they're building these new baby faces. But hey, maybe Hobbs has like an incredible showing and the crowd, shocking to all of us, is completely on his side. Moxley does a great job of getting booed in his home state, you know.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. Maybe it changes because now with Kenny Omega being back and a lot of outside forces putting pressure on AEW to like give Kenny the belt. Like Kenny is the hottest thing in wrestling right now, and
Mhm.
he's coming back as the cleaner version of himself. So it's like, hey, are we gonna jump Darby or whatever and give it to someone else? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's the great thing about AEW is that they adjust
Right. And
as stuff for happening. As long as everyone's healthy, they'll adjust.
and like I was happy for Hobbs, and I'm going to admit I was like trying to get myself hyped for the week after, and then what did it was that they went and interviewed Hobbs after.
Oh yes.
And and then Hobbs telling Moxley is the reason why, saying, people say Moxley is the reason why I'm here in AW, but next week I'm gonna make him my pitch.
Yeah, to his wife, which was fucking great.
Yeah, and just walks away like that's.
Oh my god.
I was like, okay, nah, I'm invested. Let's go.
I love that they don't hide from it too. Like I know commentary didn't bring it up, but like the way Renee looked at him was like, "You motherfucker." You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I love that so much. Like they don't say it, but they say it. You know what I mean? Like that shit's so cool. They don't like ignore it. Like I always love when Hangman comes up to Renee and is like, "Yo, your husband is fucking killing people." People need to start doing that shit to Roddy. Like, dude, your wife is literally choking people out.
Yeah, what's good?
You're over here fucking playing with your best friends. Like,
I need
you know
like
what I mean?
Kyle O'Reilly or Adam Cole to turn around and be like, right, so what's going on with your wife?
Like, dude, Kyle O'Reilly would be the best person to do that. Like, bro,
Yeah.
like it should be right. They should do like a Death Rider segment where like they're killing people, and then it should cut to like the Undisputed Kingdom, like in the back, like by a monitor, and Kyle be like, dude, fucking what's good with your wife, bro? And Roddy be like, I stay out of her business.
Yeah. You think I want to ask her?
Yeah, bro, I don't want to get beat up. But then this segment transitions so beautifully into the next segment, which is a Jeff Jarrett promo where MJF interrupts, and we get a tease on MJF and Jeff Jarrett becoming a partnership. Of course, that doesn't end up working out. I think on social media they said that Jarrett went back to his group, which is like, nah, whatever. But it is cool to see that MJF is giving us a reason why he isn't directly going after the AEW title. Other than just like, in WWE for years, it's like, all right, we're all trying to be champion, but like when there's a heel's not going to go after a heel, and a babyface is not going after a babyface. At least here, MJF is like, hey, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. I know the Death Riders are maniacs, and I ain't trying to fuck with them. So I will help you beat them, but like I'm not getting involved, and then I'll get it. Like he's trying to be like the conniving fucking wuss piece of shit that he was before, which is kind of getting it back, which I love. I think is really cool.
Yeah. No, this was awesome. I mean, it's a lot of Jeff Jarrett fans aren't happy with it, but that is what it is. I think.
Wait, Jeff Jarrett has fans?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Oh,
I've actually talked to a few of them.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, damn, man. I was
Are
like,
they 87 years old?
I messaged them. I'm like, that's the greatest segment I've ever seen. And they weren't happy when I typed that. But no, I think we have to be getting an MJF Jarrett. Is that a Grand Slam Australia match, or is that something before? Like I know they're going back to Tennessee in a couple of weeks. Maybe that's when we'll get MJF and Jarrett. But
maybe.
No, I think
it keeps them busy, which is the most important thing that people need to realize. It keeps them busy.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were like saying, "Oh, MJF's fallen off," and like he was gone for like over a year. Can we stop? Like he just got back. Like why are all of a sudden it's like if he's not doing something on the first show, people think it's like okay, well, his career's over. He's being pushed back. Like no, it's not. It's not any.
Listen, Hangman hasn't challenged for the title since 2022 when he was doing the Punk stuff, right?
Yeah, I think
Or
so.
I mean,
Was
he
it
hasn't
that?
been champion. Maybe he's challenged for it. Maybe Moxley was Mox champ when he fought him. I don't think so. Swerve wasn't the champ when they fought each other.
Regardless, though, people are just so like on.
Oh,
like,
he was in that triple threat match with Samoa Joe. But still, like Hangman hasn't been like a serious contender for that title in now 3 years, and it's like he's still having an incredible run. So like MJF can still be a great character without going after the title right away. Plus, like, we need a break. I know he's been gone like for a long time, and like last year was basically a wash, but like 2023, this dude was a champ for a year. So like, let's give it some space still.
Yeah, like
I want to see other people win.
He will be back. Let's pump the brakes. Honestly.
Listen, it keeps Jarrett away from the title. It keeps MJF away from the title, and that's a plus.
Right.
Right. That's a plus. So let's breathe a little bit. From that segment, we get the rated R superstar Cope, which it's still hard for me to say. We get a promo with him just ripping into Moxley, and even him, he had a hard time getting the crowd going, which is proof to you that it's a shit crowd, because like I feel like Cope always gets the crowd super on fire when he talks, but it's just still pushing the narrative of like, you know, getting to Jon Moxley, which is probably going to be Grand Slam. They talk about, I think it was here, that it's going to be him versus Big Bill on Collision this week.
Yeah,
that should be fun. We're in this weird phase where, because AEW is not announcing matches, everybody's like at a distance from each other. So it's like, you know, Rated FTR is like kind of feuding with the Learning Tree while they're feuding with Death Riders, like just as like a something to do.
Yeah.
But it's all moving in a direction, right?
I hope
think
so.
That's important for us to remember.
Yeah. I think sometimes they need to clear it up a little bit and not stray away. And Jesus Christ, the Learning Tree. Like Jericho is on Ring of Honor right now. He's the Ring of Honor World Champion. Can we just keep him on Ring of Honor and have the Learning Tree over there and focus on Ring of Honor?
Yeah.
Why do they got to focus over here? End this week. This has got to be the end. Like, move on after this.
But I mean, are you excited for the potential that could be either a trios match? Because we did see Pac back. I think it was this week, right?
Yeah. In full gear.
We saw him. Yeah, in full gear as always. So maybe we'll get like Cope versus Moxley, and then that, you know, Mox will win by cheating with the Death Riders, and then we'll get like rated FTR winning the trios belts from the Death Riders, so those belts can like actually be defended.
I think that's what's going. I think that's the trios match that'll may most likely be booked for Grand Slam. It'll be for the trios belts, and I think they could have a good run, rated FTR with the trios belts.
But when would you book Cope and Moxley then? Double or nothing?
Revolution could be probably.
Oh yeah, Double Revolution is first. Yeah, you're right.
And at the same time, though, that's where I think we're gonna have to find out what's going on with the world. I think we hope, because like we don't know what, now that Kenny's back and it looks like he can be back full time, what the world title picture looks like. Did they behind the scenes pivot their plans? Like, is it going to be Darby, or do they kind of push Darby's plans maybe to the end of the year? Because I know they even brought up this week, they even showed that little quick clip of like why Darby hasn't been here. He was pushed down the stairs and we haven't seen him since. So it looks like they still are leaning in that direction of giving Darby the next world title shot for when he comes back. I don't know if that was a way to write him off so that he can go and train to climb Mount Everest now. Because I don't know when exactly he's climbing Mount Everest. Like, I don't know.
It was right after Revolution last year. Remember, because the week after Revolution, they did the thing where Jay White was supposed to take him out, and he got like really injured.
Right.
So I'm guessing it's in March at some point.
So like, is he now? I can't see him being written off for like 3, 4, 5 months now. That's just.
I still think he wins the belt at Revolution.
I did Google it. He plans to climb in April 2025.
Oh yeah, so he wins the belt.
Yeah.
Revolution is March something, which something that just came to my mind thinking about it is Revolution might have to move arenas.
Oh, right, because
it's in LA.
Yeah.
And there's no way in a few months that city is going to be able, I mean, entire areas are gone.
Yeah.
And I don't know what building they're in. But listen,
they're because the other day they had to move.
Oh, they're in the Staples Center.
Yeah, they had to cancel. Yeah, they had to cancel the LA King and Calgary game. So,
well, they moved the 2 NFL games out. The Lakers game, they moved. I forgot who they were playing. They moved the Lakers game out of there. I don't know where WWE on Monday was in the Intuit Dome, which is like the greatest fucking arena I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't care what anybody says. That dude who built the Clippers owner is a
Yeah.
genius because I hope to God AEW could run a sold out show in there one day because the technology in there is just unbelievable. But it's like they're in Inglewood, so I don't know if that building, if they have to cancel their events. I mean, the Clippers fucking suck, so nobody ever talks about them. But as far as events, but it's just so who knows what's gonna happen with Revolution. I just still think Darby wins the belt at Revolution. It's a year after the Sting thing,
Yeah.
so there's a tie to that, and then he wins, and then he goes to Mount Everest as the champion and climbs it. I mean, listen, the world title hasn't been seen on TV since Wrestle Dream because it's been in that briefcase.
Oh, that's
So
right.
and you have other performers like Kenny Omega, Okada. Maybe Darby wins at Revolution and that title goes away, but you really start to showcase like Mercedes has 4 belts. Like that's the fucking coolest image ever. When you like remember when Kenny was the belt collector?
Yeah.
So maybe you do that, or maybe you start to use the Continental title again or the international title. Like you have other titles you could showcase, that we get to see every week
Yeah,
or
that's true.
whatever. Like it doesn't have to be the AEW thing. But it's I my money's on Darby wins at Revolution.
God,
I
it's
hope.
gonna be interesting to see what they do. I really want to know what they're gonna do.
That way, if you have to pivot by All In, it's okay because that's in March and All In is in July.
I mean, if it is Darby and they have to, in terms of pivoting, move arenas, man, move it to Washington, like Seattle,
Yeah.
Washington, like
Just make it on the
for
nose.
Darby. Have him win it in his home state. That'd be
Yeah,
wild.
exactly. Like he was supposed to. Like the rumors that we heard.
Yeah.
That's why I think he's the only one that's gonna beat Mox. Like this is all set up for him to win because I can't think of a way where they're like, yeah, we're just gonna. It's supposed to be Darby, and then at the last second we're gonna take it away. I just feel like Moxley was probably like, I can build this guy to be a bigger star.
Yeah. And we know like
But I don't know.
the plans are for Kenny and Okada to
Yeah,
be fighting at
at
All
All In.
In,
So like that's not gonna have a title.
and that's probably
So I know we all want Kenny to win the belt, but like,
it doesn't need a
but to
title.
me it's like, why can't Kenny Omega be like the Undertaker, where it's like that is the match everybody wants. Like if you're not fighting for the title, like you want to fight Kenny Omega
Right.
because he's this legendary performer. So it's like that itself is a title match. Like that's just me. That's how I would book it.
I think that's usually be booked going forward from here. Like you refers to himself as the god of pro wrestling. Like
Yeah.
act like it. Act like
The same way Bryan
yeah.
Danielson was booked until he won the belt, which is like, oh, there's a Bryan Danielson match. Oh shit, who is he facing? Like that's a
Yeah.
big deal. But we go to another promo segment right after this, which was honestly my favorite promo segment, like
I knew you could say
for a while, bro. We get Mariah May in the background, in the back, talking in her chair, and then Harley Cameron comes up and cuts this promo about how she's gonna face her on Collision and how she's gonna feel the wrath, and she's like, oh, and it's cool because for people who don't know, they were a tag team when they were both in Canada before Mariah May went to Stardom.
Yep.
And they are very close friends. They're best friends. And so this match is going to be a ton of fun. I don't know if you saw Kyle. Harley Cameron recorded her own theme song
Yes.
and put it out online. And
It's
see, this
so
is one of those
why
things.
is it so good? Like
This
why
is one
is
of
it
those
so
things
good?
where we need to nitpick AEW
Yeah.
because, like, I get it. I am always on social media, so I see all this stuff,
Yeah.
and it's just as good as if I see it on Dynamite. Right? So like either way, I'm still seeing it. I'm having a great time. I'm loving this stuff. But you need to play these segments on television, including that Tony Storm office style segment that
Yeah.
everybody's loving.
That should have been
You
played on
need-
Dynamite this week.
It needs to be played on Dynamite, preferably in the first hour. Like you need to have fun and do some fun stuff because Harley Cameron is so fucking entertaining, and half the audience is losing it because it's been on Rampage this whole time. Now it's going to go to Collision. So it's like, I'm excited for this match. Harley Cameron's gotten so much better as a wrestler. Mariah is going to get her to have a great match. And like I said, they're friends, so they're going to beat the shit out of each other. And it's something great for Mariah to do as we're building her up for the Australia show
Yep.
and possibly her versus Tony Storm, or maybe her versus Statlander. We'll see how that battle royal shapes out next week. But Kyle, you are the Mariah May guy.
Oh,
How much fun was it watching this promo?
We are getting hot girl graps on Saturday, and yep, there's really it speaks for itself. Oh man, I'm telling you right now though, I'm sold on Harley Cameron. I am so sold. She's doing fantastic work. It's so good, like the way what she does and the way like she, like the way that she like just. I can't even, like I say yeah, it's a character, but like at the same time, it's just like, oh man, I like the oh god, what was I gonna say the theme song. Oh my god, how did I forget the name? Yeah, the I
Feel the Wrath.
Yeah, I'm sold. It's it's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. But I'm hyped. I think that. I'm just curious to see, like, I know what's next, right? Obviously, we know that next week's Gauntlet is going to feature who's going to face Tony Storm, not Tony Storm. Who's going to face Mariah May for the World Championship at Grand Slam. So this kind of ties into like what we're about to talk about next.
Yes.
Which is so it's like this is a weird thing. So like it's a triple threat battling for the number one entrant in the Casino Gauntlet, which is like,
which gives them the advantage.
Get it.
If you pin the first person, you win.
I get it, but like, when has that ever happened?
Yes, listen. You say that, right? But it'll happen one day. Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like it's gonna happen. I hope one day. Just like remember when it was like picture in picture when Orange Cassidy won the match, and you were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Which is now funny enough with having Max. Like I'd be so pissed because I'd be like, yo, I missed it. What the fuck?
But like,
because we get full commercials.
Yeah. So like, and Statlander won it, right? And it was a fantastic match. I'm gonna skip through here. It's the promo we got from Tony Storm, and she was upset. Like Renee was interviewing her about it, and feels like she's not ready. That maybe it's not Tony time. And I'm sitting there going like, is this girl about to go into the Gauntlet next week and bring back fucking the other gimmick, the timeless Tony Storm? And then she's gonna win it, and they're gonna interview her, and they're gonna like Renee's gonna talk about but you were here last week, and she's gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been here for months.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna act like she hasn't been here for months as the other Tony Storm, and each character has their own like they don't know that they're there.
Yeah, like she has different personalities that they don't know they interact.
Yeah. Why do I think that that's gonna happen next week?
That could happen. I could also just see her winning. Like just winning and then being like doing media in Australia, like I'm back home for the first time.
Yeah.
I've never did that. And people would be like, you were here promoting no, that wasn't what are you talking about? I haven't been home in 20 years. Like it's just like playing it into it.
Yeah. And doing like another Office style thing where like she's in like Australia, like sitting in the seats.
Oh my god, bro! It's if you guys haven't watched it, go to AEW social media and look for the Tony Storm clip. It is so fucking funny. This girl is the best part of AEW right now. Like she is so entertaining in everything that she does. It's so much fun.
I have to think that she's gonna win next week, right? Because it just makes sense to have her in her home country, right? That's another thing. And
she can lose because she's still not like herself yet. Yeah. So Mariah could beat her, and
or she wins. It's like she's like a rookie that won like her first title, right? And that could be like a big upset, and she's like crying in the ring like it's her first title, and she does like the press conference after saying she's won her first championship.
Yeah. Even though it's like her third or fourth, I think.
But that's also a match that's good for selling purposes, right? Because it's Tony's home country, right? Like the home girl is getting her world title shot.
A great storyline. That's kind of getting brought back up again. Because that was All In was in the end of August.
Yep.
Like there's been some time between it. You know what I mean? Like we're going all the way to February.
God, I really hope. Either way, next week, if it's like the same Tonys we got, like this rookie Tony, I'm gonna call her rookie Tony, and if it's timeless Tony, either one will pop it'll pop me. I'm like, okay, here we go. We're definitely getting Tony winning. It'll be interesting to see.
Oh my god, I just thought of something.
Oh god.
Oh no, that can't happen. Fuck, because it's not the Royal Rumble. I was saying, what if they end up doing something where, like, remember when Mick Foley came out in the Royal Rumble as three different characters?
Oh, I
Like,
see
what
what
if
you mean.
Tony was like, one entry is Tony Storm, and then one entry is Outcast Tony Storm, and then one entry is Timeless Tony Storm, and that's the one who wins?
Yeah. That would be funny. I
That would
mean,
be great.
the only way they do that is if like she's fighting with someone and end up going to the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That'd be cool.
but
I do want to shout out the triple threat match. I thought it was excellent.
yeah,
Um, Willow and Statlander and Tony, they have great chemistry. I was shocked that Statlander was the one to win.
right.
Um, but it is this. So Statlander is telling the story of redemption. Another thing that's being shown through the Renee interview and the close-up series that AEW has on their YouTube channel, and Statlander and backstage promos and online and stuff, where she's trying to make amends with Willow and Orange Cassidy. So kind of like become the babyface Statlander that we all fell in love with.
Yeah.
So it is cool. We'll see how long it lasts. I do hope that the Casino Gauntlet match gives us some really good women variety, right? Like let's get Red Velvet in there, right? She's been doing excellent work in Ring of Honor. Let's get Ty in that match.
I was just gonna say, I was gonna make a prediction. I think Ty. She just tweeted today that she's back in the United States.
Yeah, so let's get Ty
Yeah.
in that match to kind of get that return pop in AEW. Let everybody know she's
Yeah.
back and she's here, that she could be booked. I would honestly prefer her in Ring of Honor right now. I think the women's scene is very crowded on Dynamite, given the fact that they only get one fucking segment a night, which is annoying. So I would like to see her in Ring of Honor, but I want her to get this pop. I mean, selfishly, obviously, me and Kyle are huge Ty fans, so
Give us Athena.
give us not yet.
Not yet. You don't think like Athena
Nah,
appearing in
not
it?
yet. I don't want to. I don't want to. Oh, I think Athena is still in Japan. She's facing.
Oh
She
right.
has a Stardom match.
Yeah, so she
She
won't
might
be
be
there.
still in Japan.
So
Yeah.
then we're definitely gonna get Jamie Hayter and Julia Hart.
Yep,
I
that
think.
would be great. Get Anna Jay in there.
Yeah.
Maybe Queen Aminata. I don't know if Sky Blue is ready to come back yet. Throw her in there if she is.
Oh yeah, she got injured too. Poor
A
girl.
while ago.
Yeah.
So let's just have some fun with it. Let's really showcase the women's division. I hope they don't do some shit where it's like this is the match where it ends really fast. Because I really want the women to get their chance to shine and show that there's multiple stories going on here and stuff like that. So that would be really cool. Hopefully we get something with Mercedes cutting a promo in the ring with all the belts too. That would be really cool. But the women's division is on fire this year. So I'm excited to see like just the future of it. Also like put Deanna in the match, Taya Valkyrie in the match. Like let's have some fun.
Yeah. I think we're gonna get a good amount of women next week in that gauntlet match. I think it's gonna be good. And I think ultimately, if the decision is right and everything's aligning right, we're going to get Tony Storm with a big win. But yeah, I'm excited to see just what comes out of that and who gets put in there. And to be honest, I'm literally excited for two things. Like I know the amount of women you just listed. I'm excited for each and every single one of them. But the two things I'm looking for next week is obviously the Tony Storm thing and Ty. To be honest, like I want to see her come back and have a good return pop, have a good return embrace, respect for her, like coming back from all this time from having her kid in and even performing in Japan and in her return matches is fantastic. So I'm excited for that. I am so pumped for next week. Next week's Maximum These I'm glad they're still doing these event Dynamites, to be honest.
Me too. I love it.
They always stack them up too. So I'm glad that we are continuing this in this now, I guess you can call it the Max era of Dynamite. The simulcast era of Dynamite until that runs out. I don't know if that, because for right now, I don't know, because I don't know. Is Raw is only on Netflix, right? It's not shown on any TV
Yeah, it's
network?
only on Netflix.
Okay. I don't know if AEW is ever going to be at that level yet, just because of how much
Max isn't as popular as Netflix. So right off the jump, you're losing viewers if you're only on Max, because Max doesn't get the. I mean, maybe it does, because it does have like House of Dragon and stuff like that.
But they've built such a good relationship with TNT and TBS, so I don't foresee that just ending abruptly just because they finally got on
AEW
Max.
also caters to like the older audience because they have so many. Like, I mean, we had the Midnight Express last week, so like those people who are watching for them are gonna watch on HBO Max.
Well, I know they're gonna have to. They definitely did a good number this week, because if the majority of people were watching on Max this week, TV numbers were at 600,000. So if you add the max numbers with the 600,000, they're probably close to $1 million.
Really, yeah, exactly.
So.
Exactly. I mean, maybe they got to start putting those numbers out if we're gonna still see the 600,000. I know WWE put out their Netflix numbers.
It's a weird stat. Like they said globally, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Yeah. Why are we all of a sudden doing global now? Like,
because they just want to say the number and stand behind something.
Well, that's because Netflix is
we're in a new, we're in a new era of wrestling, right? Yeah. It's hard to, because people could be watching Dynamite on Tuesday night before, you know what I mean? Like, So when do you put the numbers out? I don't know, but you know the one cool thing that we've waited all show to talk about, we can finally talk about it now.
Yes.
The return of a full-time wrestling Kenny Omega to AEW. He comes out with his new theme, cuts a great promo, kind of sets the stage for everything he wants to do. We get Don Callis coming out, and Kenny Omega's like, nah, bro, it's on site.
Yeah.
Throws hands, which leads to Takeshita, Fletcher coming out.
That caught me off guard so much. I didn't think Omega's gonna be like that.
Yeah, nah. But this is a new Omega, bro. He's not here for the game. Bro.
I'm not letting you chat anymore. We're done with that.
I'm fucking you up. Right? We get to that, and then we get, surprisingly, Will Ospreay coming out. We know their history, which is really cool. Which annoying yet again, like that crowd didn't fucking sell it, and it sucks because there's so much history between those two men.
Yeah.
And the last time they were against, they stood face to face with each other was at Forbidden Door, where Ospreay was with Callis, and you're lucky enough to be there live and just all the history. But now Ospreay's going against, the Don Callis family, so it's like, just give me every variation of Takeshita, Fletcher, Ospreay, Omega. Anybody fights anybody. Give me a fatal 4-way match and make it the greatest fatal 4-way match of all time. Like, let's just go fucking crazy because we didn't talk enough in the Wrestle Dynasty, Wrestle Kingdom segment. Like, Takeshita won the Never Open Championship, right?
Yeah.
So he's got 2 belts as well, and he has recently said that he is signed to New Japan. So he's currently signed to 3 different promotions right now.
Yeah.
And 2025 looks like his year. So give me all the combinations of those 4 guys. Those are like the 4 best in-ring performers in AEW right now. So it's like the sky is the limit to everything that we could see now moving forward.
Bro, the sickos in Australia are going to be eating good if they book Kenny and Ospreay against Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher for Grand Slam. Like, do people not grasp the idea that we might about to get a tag team of Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay? Like, I was going nuts when Omega and Hangman were teaming up for the first time, and they were a sick team. They even won the tag goal, and I was so hyped for that. But this is like for the sickos tag team. This is Omega and Ospreay doing tag team combination moves together, whatever they fucking want to come up with. This is gonna be absolutely nuts to see where we go from here. But yeah, there was that thing that you mentioned there at the end. There was that, like, Ospreay kind of like had those visions of being still with the Don Callis family, right? He had like the chair swing, but he put it down, and there's that stare down between those two. I don't know,
which I love because not a lot of promotions do it. Where it's like I know right now, Drew McIntyre in WWE is the only one whose character is like, nah, we're not forgetting the past.
Yeah.
And it made him a heel, right? Like, Drew McIntyre's whole thing was like, no, the bloodline like terrorized us for 2 fucking years. I don't care if they're good guys now. I'm not forgiving, right? Like, but like, so with this is now it's like, hey, look, Ospreay and Kenny, like, whatever, even though both of them have moved on and both of them have become baby faces, they still have animosity towards each other. There is still, if even it's not hatred, there's still like a competitiveness between them of wanting to be the best in the world. So It's like, come on.
Exactly. No, exactly.
Oh my God, I just thought of something too. You have these 4 going at it, and at some point, you're going to have to interject Okada to get ready. Like, holy shit. What 5 guys to have fucking interweaving between each other.
Like, we said that last week, right? We were hoping that this was going to be the week. That's what the promo was lined up for, that this was going to be the announcement. Again, that's another thing. I really hope they don't wait too late to announce that, because I think that match alone could sell out that building. If you announce ahead of time, like months down the line, that maybe you do it at Revolution, that it's going to be Okada versus Omega on American soil, like, that's your marquee match. That's the match that's going to sell out that building. And you can do all the promotion you want, like saying this this pay-per-view's been sold out for months, right? Like it builds up all the hype for that event. It builds up all the hype for like if tickets go on sale for resale, how fast they're gonna get freaking scooped up. Maybe you have to do some work around. Maybe you sell more seats. Maybe like the original seats you had blocked off, you can open up now and just make more money. So I really do believe that. I hope that they don't wait too long to announce that match, because it not only does the fans justice, but it does AEW justice by helping them sell that show. So I hope that we get it sooner rather than later. But yeah, we're also forgetting that it was mentioned during Kenny's recovery process that Coda's also healing up and ready to come back, and as soon as he's done healed up, he's coming to AEW.
God, at him, those 6.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah. So and Kenny even said that he wants to do a Golden Lovers reunion. So and have a run with that. So I'm excited to see what comes next.
Oh my God, bro, and just like with all that happening, and then they usually do the Owen Hart tournament.
Yep.
I mean, during that time, I mean, the first time they did it was like Double or Nothing, and then the second time it was an All In. So, they're willing to move it. Maybe they move it with the finals being at All In, and then you could get like Coda, Will Ospreay, Fletcher, Takeshita, one of those, two of those 4 in the match of the finals for that.
Yeah,
and then you could have Kenny and Okada. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If everybody stays healthy, All In might be the greatest wrestling show to ever be. Because if we get like Athena versus Mercedes, and we get like something big with Tony Storm and Ryan May.
Oh man, that's definitely happening. It's Athena's home state.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, man.
And by then she'll probably would have lost the belt to Billy Starks.
Yeah.
Or whoever at this point. I don't know who's gonna beat her, but
oh man, that's a perfect alignment right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
From saying,
but Omega's back. Omega's back.
We're very excited.
I am gonna miss his old theme.
Up.
Not gonna say I'm not trying to shit on his new theme. This has nothing to do with his new theme. I'm just saying I absolutely loved his old theme.
Oh yeah,
it got really me absolutely hyped. But I love this new theme too. It'll take me a while to make me get hyped for it. Like I absolutely love he had like the creators of the producers of
it
Final Fantasy?
The people who make the music for Final Fantasy 14 and 15, I think
it's a very god-like song. It's a song that you think a god would come down a wrestling ring to. So it does fit his not new persona, but his persona now. Like the god of pro wrestling is back, and he has god-like music on his way to the ring. Just like when Roman Reigns came back earlier, was it last year or the year before? His new like theme song is like a god-like version of his old theme song. So, I like it. I really do like it. But man, it's 2025 is, like you said, if everyone stays healthy, it's shaping up to be a big, big year for this company, especially now with this new era of the simulcast era of streaming on Max and going forward from here. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and building up to shows like Grand Slam and stuff that I still believe is only on Max, right?
I believe so. I think, for now, I'm pretty sure it's a Max exclusive. Which sucks for me, so I'm gonna have to find a stream for it. But I think they actually still have it open up like internationally to Fight TV or Trailer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, you'll still have to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll still be able to watch it, which is really cool. But yeah, man, AEW is hitting on all cylinders. What a perfect time to jump back into it full time. If you guys have kind of fallen off, it's just so exciting. We're getting a lot of people back from injury, especially Kenny. Like, it's just good times, man. So many stories to be told. Don't let the fucking casuals fool you and say that AEW doesn't tell stories. There's a lot going on, and a lot of fun stuff happening. If you're paying
attention, they tell stories. If you're not paying attention, then you're gonna get lost, because if you're tuning into AEW like once every month, you're not gonna get anything. Like, this is not the company where you tune in once a month. This is a company where you tune in each and every single week. You understand, you go along with these stories, for that way when you have the payoff, you're like, damn, that was an insane payoff, because I've been watching since the beginning of this story, so I know exactly what's going on. So it's this is not a company that does I hate to say it, the WWE model. That's why they're referred to as the alternative. And you got to be watching every week.
Yep, and you got to remember things. It's on you to remember because they go away and they come back, and they, like we said before, they, if somebody gets hurt or something, they put the story on pause, which could be a good or a bad thing depending how it all works out. But hey, it's a great time to be an AEW fan. We have a lot coming up in the next few months. Like we said in the top of the show, our thoughts are with everybody in California, in the LA
Yeah.
area. Hopefully they figure something out because this is just a scary thing. Um, you know, Also on our side of things, so it is announced that today that TikTok is ending in the
Oh, they did
US.
announce that. I was going to look at
Yes,
that.
on the 19th, unless
Wow.
something at the last second happens, which it doesn't look like. So, if you guys want to keep following us on social media, there's still X, there's Blue Sky, there's Instagram.
We had to start doing YouTube Shorts now.
Yeah, YouTube Shorts might be a thing that we could start doing. So if you're over there on TikTok, you guys have been great liking posts, viewing videos for me over there. But just keep your ears to the podcast. We'll let you know where you can follow us. I know there's an app that just launched. I mean, it's been out, but now it's getting recommended to people
Oh
called
no.
Lemon 8, which is made.
Stop it.
It's another. Well, no. It's made by the people who make TikTok or something, but
It was like a Lemon 8.
Lemon 8, yeah. So like when you go on TikTok, like I got a notification that said like 3 people request to follow you on Lemon 8, and when you click it, you could just it links your account. So like your TikTok just goes over.
Hilarious.
And
It's
it's the
not
same
available
thing.
in Canada.
Oh, there you go. So, well, at least you can follow me on it. But if you guys want to follow me everywhere on social media that I just mentioned for the show is at All Elite Nation. If you guys want to follow me, it's at New Yorican with 2 U's. I'm teasing the ideas of starting to stream on Twitch if I get some time. It's hard with a 1-year-old.
Ooh. Yeah. Well,
I
your
did a
dad.
test stream the other night. I'm thinking of streaming Last of Us Season 2. I mean, Last of Us Part 2 video game to build up to Season 2 that comes back in April. We'll see. But Kyle, where can everybody follow you?
Um, you can follow me for my random tweets that I try to do once in a while. At All Elite Kyle. I really don't got nothing going on. I'm ending my Twitch, I guess, career, you can say, at the end of the month, and going full time into AEN going forward from here. So you guys can know that I'm back full time here. Might figure out how to do YouTube Shorts eventually. They'll be see if that's interesting. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I have really nothing going on too much, but yeah, make sure you are following Phil and checking out his Twitch channel. And yeah, like he said before, keeping up with what we put on with this podcast in terms of where to find us. Obviously, now that's news to me that I didn't know TikTok was actually going away. I didn't think they were actually going to vote
Yeah, it
for
happened
that.
today.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah, hope you guys, again, enjoy the show. If you guys have like any thing you guys want to hear on the show or any kind of segment you guys want us to do, let us know too. Feedback is always welcome. If you're listening to this on YouTube, drop it in the comments. If you're tweeting back at us at All Elite Nation, let us know because we're always looking for
and we're
anything.
still working on the live side of it, right?
Yeah.
The video side of it. We just gotta wait for a couple of things to, we'll get there. Trust us.
Yeah.
We'll get there. It's a build-up, We're telling a storyline, right?
Yeah.
It's good. It takes some time. We're building.
The payoff
up,
will be great eventually.
Yeah, it'll be great. All right, we gotta build ourselves back up to it.
That popped me.
But thank you guys for listening to another great episode of All Elite Nation. We will see you guys next week, and remember, you don't need a hat to be a cowboy. We'll see you guys later.
Peace.